show. Author's Corner, she asked about the books they wrote.
The name of the book is called Kali the Elephant Learns from Socrates the Philosopher. And this book is so clever and has so many good messages in it. I highly recommend it. It is just a perfect gift. It's perfect for your child, your grandchildren, and for so many others. There's no question about it. Neera Badhwar joins us to talk about it. She's the author, and she joins us here on Author's Corner on America Tonight with me, Kate Delaney. Neera, I understand we have some congratulations right before we even dive into this. Tell the listeners about the award. That's wonderful.
The Literary Titan gave me a gold award for it.
Nice. Congratulations on that, because that's not an easy feat. So that's wonderful. So let's dive into why they would do that. Let's talk about Kali and the inspiration for Kali and how it all started for you, because you've written some other books too, but let's talk about this one.
Yeah. So I was aware that a lot of children are teased in school, and my granddaughter was one of them. And I wasn't very happy with most of the books about teasing, because most of them were sort of preachy, telling the teaser not to tease in effect. So I thought I would write a humorous story. And then it occurred to me that Socrates, I'm a philosopher by training. I taught philosophy for 22 years at the University of Oklahoma. So I remembered that Socrates' friends teased him at a party. And he was such a great wit. He wasn't at all fazed. And he said, let's have a beauty contest, and I bet I'll win. And the others laughed and said, okay, go ahead. And so when they tease him about his eyes and his nose and his ears, all of which are too big for his size, he has an answer. He proves, so to speak, that he's actually lucky to have those, because he can see better than the other people, he can hear better, and he can smell better.
It's so funny, and it's so good because also too kids learn about Socrates and what you did for a living and melding that together, and the fact that he was humorous and he used that to solve a problem and bringing it into current times. What else will kids learn when they read this book?
Well, I hope they learn that they can stand up for themselves without getting angry, that they don't have to go complaining to teachers about the kids who are teasing them. And I hope that when they do it the way Kali does, with humor, the other kids will learn the lesson and like her all the better for standing up for herself.
Yeah, you know what? I also think there's such a big part of like what you're saying there, adding on to that, building some self-esteem and truly, when, as you say, and standing up for yourself, learning that resilience at a young age.
Yes.
I mean, it's wonderful.
Thanks. She's also very funny, when she goes home, she's sobbing, she complains to her mother, and her mother says, let's think of what you can do about it. But before her mother can suggest anything, she says, I know. You remember you said your sweater shrank when you soaked it in water for too long? I'll shrink my features by soaking in the pond every day.
Very, very clever. How did you come up with Kali? How did you come up with the elephant idea? It's wonderful.
Yeah, I have no idea why I thought of making this a story about an elephant. It's really odd, but I simply don't remember. I do remember the origins of some of my other ideas, but not this one.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I remember it was because my granddaughter was being teased, but I don't know why I told a story about an elephant instead of a little girl.
What's wonderful is it's a very small, powerful read. It's really, really opens your eyes, and I think it is very clever that you picked an elephant, because you know what they say, the elephant never forgets. And so imagine being teased and bullied, and and when Kali's teased, she's sobbing, and she It's just so tough on her, and then turns it all around. And that's what you find out when you read this book. We're not going to tell you everything about the book, but it's so clever. It's illustrated so wonderfully. And of course, you can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Barnes & Noble, wherever great books are sold. And, there's other clever stories that you've written too, based on fables. The rooster and the donkey is one of them, the stork and the fox. Tell us about those.
Yeah. Okay, so Smarty Stork and Foxy Fox, a tale of fun, friendship, and fairness. The stork and the fox become friends somehow. And the fox says, why don't we play a game? And he proposes a game that he knows he'll win and the stork will lose. And he does that 3 times over. And Smarty Stork thinks, he's not behaving like a friend. So let me show him how to be a friend and how it feels when the other person doesn't behave like a friend. So she says, now I'll think of some games. And then she thinks of games that favor her and disfavor the fox. But the fox realizes what's happening and he hangs his head in shame and says, I know, I was a very bad friend. Let's make up games that are fair to both of us. And so they do that, and then they become best friends forever.
Wonderful. So when people read any of your work, because there are some good similarities to build on, what do you hope these kids take away overall?
Well, I hope they'll have fun reading them, that they laugh, and that they will get the obvious lesson, that you can't be a good friend without being fair. And also you can't be a good friend without having fun together.
Boy, isn't that true? And that's a lesson I think as adults we could still carry with us, which I do think there is that side to your books too as well. For you, especially as you told us about, the 22 years teaching, has this been fun for you to dive into this as you've written other books?
Yes. The philosophy books were much harder to write, if only because they were longer. Mostly I wrote philosophy articles, and they took much longer. This has been fun. It's using a different part of my brain.
Exactly. And when you sit down, do you feel like is it kind of like a blank page and your mind is just kind of working, thinking about lessons and friendship and kindness? And even I would say critical thinking is mixed into this.
Yeah. Well, in the case of the stories based on Aesop's fables, the central idea was there. So, but I changed all the details. I've made up all the details because Aesop's fables are just like obvious lessons, and they just tell you the facts and that's it. So, yes. In the case of Kali, as I was saying, I don't know why I thought of Kali, but the idea of being teased and responding to it came from life. My granddaughter being teased and reading children's books about teasing. And then I have some other stories in the works that I have to rewrite, improve.
And that's what a writer always does. That's a sign of a good writer. So what did your granddaughter think of the book?
Oh, she liked it a lot. Yeah. But, my grandchildren are quite uncritical. So.
That's good. Hopefully everybody listening is so fortunate with their children and their grandchildren to feel the same way. When, as you continue to write these and you have so much more in you and watching them launch, that has to be a good feeling. Is it a good feeling to drip them out that way? This is the only one I've published so far. I've sent the one about, which one did I send? Not the donkey and the stork, but the rooster and the donkey. Yeah, not the fox and the stork, but the rooster and the donkey. So that I've had illustrated, and I've sent it to some agents. So let's see. Nice. So we look forward to seeing when that comes out. For the illustration part, because, that's also such a big part of it. And Kali the Elephant learns from Socrates the Philosopher. It's beautifully illustrated. Do you, as you watch that's taking your words and seeing how it's illustrated. That's a big part of it, isn't it?
Oh, yes, definitely. Now, and most of the pictures were according to my art notes. But yes, the illustrator turned out to be really, really good. She really captured Kali's mood throughout the book.
Yeah. And again, I want to emphasize for anyone, I mean, Kali the elephant, so part of it, she gets made fun of. She has big ears, she has a long trunk, she has really big, I think the eyes are beautiful, but for the purpose of this and then getting made fun of, too big for elephant eyes, and she tries everything to kind of shrink, but it doesn't work, right? And then she discovers Socrates and that he was teased, and I just love melding the two of those together, and then so many questions that you ask as you're reading this, and what does that mean? I think the humor that's weaved into it is so important. And congratulations on your award and the success with this book, and I know the others that you have in the wings that you're getting ready to launch. We can't wait for those either. Neera, we will tell everyone once again, they can get your book on Amazon, or they can get it Barnes & Noble, wherever great books are sold. Neera Badhwar, congratulations, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much, Kurt. Thank you.